Hi everyone, it's Elsie, editor of Aerospace Tech Review, and today I have the pleasure of being joined by Maxime Meijers, co-founder and CEO of Estuaire. Maxime won Top Innovator at our Aerospace Tech Review Awards back in April, so it's a pleasure to have you here and to tell us more about the initiatives you're spearheading in the industry. So just to kick us off, could you tell us a little bit about your passion for sustainable aviation? Where did that come from, and what was the inspiration behind setting up your company?
So the passion from aviation in general comes from childhood, where I was born in Toulouse. So that's quite a city for aviation. That's where Airbus is building its prototypes and has assembly lines. So it's a city that resonates with aviation. And obviously aviation's connecting people, but facing right now, one of its greatest challenges, which is its license to grow needs to comes down to its environmental impact and the fact that the industry needs to address it. And we've seen symptoms of climate change, for example. And so I was actually working for Airbus when I had the inspiration behind Estuaire. Initially, I was working for Airbus helicopters on what is called aviation life cycle assessment, which is a study that you make to answer the question of the environmental impact of a given product. And from this exercise, which was quite fixed in time and kind of a bit of a static exercise, came the idea to make it a little bit more dynamic, data-driven, and to develop a platform that would answer the same question, which is the climate impact of aviation. And that was Estuaire. And we created then the data platform, which is our main product now.
Perfect. So just to build upon that, could you tell me a bit more about the platform? How does it work? And what are the key challenges that you think you can address through the business?
So today, Estuaire is a company that has two product lines. The first one is a data platform where we answer flight by flight the question of the climate impact of each of those flights. So we ingest everything, trajectory, weather, aircraft type. Basically, you've flown a flight, we can tell you precisely point by point what this aircraft released and the associated impact on the environment. And then we have a second product line beyond that data platform, which is more about technologies to reduce that climate impact. So very classic. Step one, measure. Step two, reduce. And that's where we actually see challenges to answer the second part of the question, because we want to... Our main product on that second part is a contrail avoidance product where we help airlines avoid contrails. Contrails are cloud formed by aircraft that in some cases have a particularly warming impact. And the problem right now, the challenge from the industry, is that there's no financial incentives from airlines or penalties that push them to work on contrails. That's really something we want to set in place. We want regulators to reward airlines that act on this matter. We want this to have an impact on their wallets, on money concretely.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to get results. But to build more on that and talk about sort of other initiatives or partnerships or projects, are there any that you're particularly proud of leading that you've done during the company's history?
Yeah, sure. So right now we are actually leading a few contrail avoidance campaigns with airlines. And we have like a variety of ways we can do this. So we are able to tell what the flight dispatch about upcoming flights that would generate contrails so that they can reroute those flights and change the altitude. We can also tell that in a live environment. So we can track aircraft positions live, and we can also reroute them and send messages directly to the flight crew so that we can act at the most crucial instant in order to generate those savings. And so the system is in trial with several airlines right now, and we're really proud because the company has been around for 2.5 years, and to have an operational impact and to have airlines change the way they fly upon our advice or with our advice, that's really rewarding.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear in such a short space of time. But looking to the future in terms of your growth projects, what would you like to do next? Obviously, you've already achieved quite a lot, but in the next 5 or 10 years, what else would you like to have done?
So in the future, we would like to grow. First of all, we want to grow around this control avoidance topic. We want to also grow the usage of our platform, and there's increasingly things that we do also on the airport side, tracking emissions also on the ground, tracking taxi times, tracking the way aircraft are going in and out of gates, and how we can optimize this on the ground. And airports, some airports are really keen. So we see also the airport area as a key area of growth. And simply, I mean, we really carried also by the little human adventure that we're building here at Estuaire. We're 10 people today. I'm really looking for. I'm about to make like a job offer this week about someone who could join us on the customer success side. We're looking in comms. We're looking at more sales and tech profiles as well. And so we want to individuals that really like our mission, that we want them to join us. We think mission is a key part of being attractive. You know, it's like Einstein. You know, the E equal MC2 formula. I think it's the same with HR. If you're happy in the job, it's like MC2 is like the mission is M. The first C is clapping, so you need your teammates to encourage you, and the last C is cash. You need good money if you do good work. And so we mission first, and then after once you join, we take care of the two C's.
Lovely. So yeah, to talk a bit more about the mission, obviously sustainability and net zero emissions is a big challenge for the industry, and you mentioned as well earlier on the lack of sort of financial incentive for airlines to work on reducing some of these things. But do you think that's the biggest obstacle for the industry to becoming more sustainable? And what sort of advice or initiatives you want to see to help improve sustainable practices across sort of aviation and aerospace?
There's several challenges. I guess one short term is, yes, financial incentive. So you need to set that in place, otherwise no one acts. Or it's just voluntary, it's just trials, it sounds nice. But if you want something to work at scale, you need a financial incentive to follow. I guess then a side challenge appended to this one is a kind of a more level playing field. So we see a lot of climate regulations coming from the EU at a time where we don't want to, weaken our national airlines, and we want, everyone. Aviation is a world, addressing the aviation climate challenge is a worldwide challenge by nature. So you want everyone to be incentivized in the same way. You want international mechanism to jump in and to follow. So hopefully, if the EU shows a little bit of leadership there, the world, and to be mechanisms like Corsia soon follow. And there's numerous reports about our contrail issue. Contrails are really a cheap thing to do to really address a large part of climate change. Only a few percent of flights generate 3% of flights generate 80% of the contrail impact. You just need to touch so few flights in order to address this problem very largely. So that's really a good opportunity.
Yeah, like a good quicker fix, as you said, to a very big challenge. And just to conclude the interview, obviously, as I said at the beginning, you were named as a top innovator at the Tech Review Awards back in April. What does this mean to you? And how pleased were you to receive that sort of accolade?
No, so first of all, it's an award I passed to the team, and notably our tech team, because they're doing the groundwork, and our data, the quality of our data should speak for itself, and the quality of our algorithm, our optimizers. So it's hard work behind the lines. So it first goes to them, and then having those industry recognitions just encourage us to go further. Hopefully, it helps us also reach more airlines or stakeholders that want to act on the climate impact of aviation. And last, we've been fortunate to work, to join, first of all, the Aviation Aerospace Tech Week. We'll go again next year. The World Aviation Festivals and all the Terrapin events are great platforms. So we're happy to continue attending that.
Perfect. Well, it was lovely to hear from you today, Maxime, and thank you so much for sharing your insights with us.